Good evening, welcome to Prime Edition. It's been a while. I am Cynthia Nyamai. Now, tonight we will be taking you straight to Eldoret, where Eldoret has now entered the League of Cities, becoming the 5th in Kenya. We will be sharing all the pomp and color and what exactly this means for Eldoret. What opportunities are there for you? And in business, we will be taking you a little bit on the tourism scope, on magical scenes where we'll be visiting Ruma Park, and in sports we will be sharing more stories on the athletics reception and much more. But first, let's have the highlights.
The municipality of Eldoret has been conferred with city status.
The birth of Kenya's 5th city. It's a carnival mood as Eldoret acquires city status. High Court bars IPRA from enforcing the new road maintenance levy that has gone up by 7 shillings. And the World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global health emergency after 500 deaths are reported across 6 African countries. Welcome back. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli, and we would love to hear from you. You can send us your comments on KBC Channel 1 on our social media pages. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you could also send me a comment on my social media pages. It's at Cynthia Nyamai. Now, Eldoret has now entered the League of Cities, becoming the 5th in Kenya. The once farming center was declared a city in a colorful ceremony presided over by President William Ruto and attended by various dignitaries, including renowned athletes in the country. President William Ruto called on the locals and Kenyans to embrace the development and collaborate with the local leadership in growing and developing the city of champions.
I, Kipchirchir William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya's Defense Forces, do hereby ordain, declare, and direct that the municipality of Eldoret has been conferred with city status.
From a sleeping farming tracing its roots to the borders of the colonial era to a bustling economic hub, Eldoret, the home of champions, has now joined the class of Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nakuru, officially becoming the 5th city in the Republic of Kenya. The colorful conferment ceremony attracted dignitaries from both levels of government, the business community, and locals in their numbers. Being the home of champions, the athletic community also graced the ceremony after a heroic state welcome for the Paris 2024 Olympic team at the Eldoret State Lounge. To officiate the charter, President William Ruto handed over signed documentation and requisite instruments, including the emblem of the new city and its unique flag. The president underscored the critical need for collaboration between the locals and the political class in ensuring that the newly elevated city of Eldoret lives up to its status.
It is essential that Eldoret focuses on the great opportunities and significant challenges ahead, not only because the future is urban, but also because it has what it takes to emerge as the ultimate city of the future.
The head of state promising that the national government will mobilize resources for the purposes of according the city a befitting status by way of geospatial smart city planning.
We need to harness our people's initiatives, dedication, and industry to leverage technology and transform this city and county's potential to provide residents with a high-quality urban experience while offering investors, professionals, and entrepreneurs an attractive environment to produce competitively.
The conferment of a city status is not merely a title that we have gained today, but a recognition of the readiness and capability of Eldoret to embrace the responsibilities and opportunities that come with this new status.
While acknowledging the challenge ahead, Area Governor Jonathan B. said he will roll up his sleeves and get down to the real work in ensuring the provision of the necessary social amenities for the benefit of the city residents and the business community.
This achievement marks the beginning of new opportunities and prosperity for all who live, work, and do business in Eldoret.
Being a city today, you will have to be a city that engages the community very effectively in building a city, which means, Mr. President, putting aside resources, both local and national, to build this great city.
The conferment ceremony also saw recognition of influential figures in the region, among them Olympic medalist Faith Kipyegon, who was conferred the Moran of the Burning Spear class status.
Eldoret Town was in a carnival mood over its conferment as a city. But beyond this fanfare, what is the essence of cityhood? Our reporter Giverson Minor sought the perspective of an urban planner on this and found out that whereas residents would enjoy improved services and social infrastructure that befits a city like Nairobi, these amenities are funded by increased taxes and other levies that they will have to bear.
As residents of Uasin County boast of the elevation of Eldoret from a municipality to Kenya's fifth city, one may wonder what the prerequisites of such conferment are. The Urban Areas and Cities Act is somehow silent on this. Peter Ruma, an urban planner at the University of Nairobi, however, says such elevation heightens expectations on benefits.
Well, of course, residents will always be excited. I think it's just some pride that will say that, oh, now I no longer stay in a municipality, but now I stay in a city. The onus is on them now to strive. That is the leadership and the residents to really have what it takes to be called a city and a respectable city.
Residents of the new Eldoret City should enjoy proper social infrastructure, including expanded road networks, street lighting, markets, fire stations, solid waste disposal management, and disaster mitigation capacity.
To some extent, we'll argue it will come with those benefits because that is what is stipulated in the law. So, well, the argument will be, have they achieved that? And so if they have not achieved that, then we'll hope that as they get this status, then they're also striving to take the responsibility that comes with it.
Attaining these city standards, however, requires the entity to generate adequate revenue, which would entail high land rates and other levies slapped on the residents.
If it is participatory, if it is inclusive, then it will be possible so that they don't get some of these ideas objected or they get people becoming hesitant to actually pay for some of these services. So it will definitely be expensive for them.
Such was the case in Mombasa, which became a city some 16 years ago.
Unapofikia kiwango kile, kuna matakwa ya serikali ambayo yanakuja hasa kuhusiana na maswali kama tozo na ushuru. Itatazamiwa kwamba kiweza kuangalia katika maandishi ya kiserikali ni kwamba kuna viwango fulani vya ushuru ambao vinatozwa unapokuwa katika kiwango fulani cha municipal ama unapokuwa katika hadhi ya mji mkuu.
Na tumeona city ya Mombasa mpaka sasa tunapata kama maisha imejaribu kupanda kwa sababu ya mambo kama planning itakuwa juu, mambo kama manyumba itakuwa juu, mambo kama rent itakuwa juu.
Giverson Minor, Prime Edition.
The nominee for Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, has pledged to turn police stations into centers of excellence and enhance accountability of police officers if confirmed by Parliament. Appearing before the National Assembly Committee on Administration and Internal Security and the Senate Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations for vetting, Kanja also said he will work closely with the National Police Service Commission to improve the welfare of police officers.
The nominee for Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, appeared before a joint sitting of the National Assembly's Administration and Security Committee and Senate's Security, Defense and Foreign Relations Committee to defend his suitability to command over 120,000 police officers.
If approved and appointed IG, we need to look at the period of time the officers have stayed actually in those areas. If you look at on the policy, the Police Act is very clear, the SSO is also very clear, no more than 3 years. So we need to stick on those deployment plans.
The nominee committed to work with other security agencies to eradicate banditry in the north through enhancing the capacity of police reservists. MPs engaged the nominee on strategies he would employ to enhance coordination between the police, the National Intelligence Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations.
The services have actually been working very well, and we are going to continue to enhance that. There could be some few structural, challenges here and there, but we will continue working to, bring in the services closer because each service is supposed to support the other service.
The lawmakers also probed Kanja's role as Deputy Inspector General of Police in the recent shooting of anti-government protesters.
The manner in which the police should be dressed while in operation or action is something we need to hear specifically from you, how you want to address it.
We want an accountable police service. So mine is to ensure that even when we are going for a deployment, whatever kind of deployment, be it to control those kind of demonstrations, be it other operations, the necessary uniforms that are supposed to be worn will have to be put on.
Kanja pledged to enhance accountability in the police service and improve the welfare of police officers. Gishoke Washira, Prime Edition.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared monkeypox a global health emergency. Addressing the press, WHO Director Tedros Adhanom said a mutated strain has spread to at least 6 African countries, infecting about 15,000 people and killing 500 people.
On 31st July 2024, the Ministry of Health announced an mpox outbreak in the country after one person who was traveling from Uganda to Rwanda through Kenya was confirmed to have contracted the illness. However, due to the rising cases of infections and deaths in some parts of the world, World Health Organization has declared mpox a public health emergency.
Emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern.
The World Health Organization Director Tedros Adhanom disclosed that a mutated strain has spread to at least 6 African countries, infecting about 15,000 people and killing 500 people.
Reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths.
Adhanom added that coordinated international response is needed to stop the outbreak and save lives.
And rapid spread of a new clade of mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying.
According to the Ministry of Health, the common symptoms of the illness are skin rash, fever, headache, generalized aches, and swollen lymph nodes. It can be contracted through direct contact with infectious skin or other parts of the body like mouth and genitals. Kenyans have been urged to observe personal hygiene by washing hands with soap and water and avoid close contact with persons with suspected symptoms.
The Global Reformed Advocacy Platforms for Engagement has committed work with the government to make the provision of 50 litres of water to every Kenyan a reality. During the launch of an action plan by the faith-based advocacy group, it was revealed that 39% of Kenyans lack access to basic drinking water services, an adversity that needs to be addressed before 2028.
In a bid to ensure that by 2028, pathways can be created for a future where every individual has access to clean and safe water, an essential foundation for life, health, dignity and justice, the Global Reformed Advocacy Platform for Engagement has launched an action plan to spearhead its vision.
And those with responsibility, especially the political elites, those with public duty, must treat it as a matter of life.
We are advocating for 50 liters of water per person, which is the minimum amount of water every person should be getting.
With statistics from the faith-based advocacy group indicating that 39% of Kenyans lack access to basic drinking water services, the group has vowed to work with the government to make access to water a reality.
Many Kenyans still lack access to water, and interestingly enough, we found that even some Kenyans, especially the women, who interact with our water resources on a daily basis, have to engage in sex to access that water.
Practically, when it comes to water scarcity, it just shows the injustices that women face in the household, and women are the ones who majorly feel it.
We cannot burden the poor people to be involved directly in water harvesting, but of course within their own means they should be able to do that.
The advocacy group further commits to raise awareness, advocate for action, collaborate with partners and support policy change.
Now that water is a devolved function, so we have to engage the counties, because that's where our communities are, to be able to put up policies.
We are identifying some champions who will be spearheading this campaign that states that every Kenyan should have access to clean and safe water by 2028. And if not, there should be a compensation in cash.
This comes as it champions for ecological integrity and social and economic justice for the well-being of shared humanity. Serafina Nairobi for Prime Edition.
Well, it's now time for our first break. And remember, today is Thursday, so Young and Industrious will be coming up shortly.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from a unique blend of natural herbs and is scientifically proven to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums.
Niaje mam, umeupdate token meter yetu?
Ai, kuupdate token meter yetu? Hiyo ni nini?
Acha nikuchanue mam. Leta simu yako. So, kuna hii text tulipata from Kenya Power. Kwa hiyo text kuna code 2. Weka code ya kwanza ku reset token meter. Alafu weka code ya pili ku update token meter.
Haya, ni hivyo tu. Wacha niulize wa mama wangu wa chama kama wameupdate token meter zao, wajipange.
Update token meter. Ni zawadi za kila wiki, 100,000 kila wiki, 250,000 kila wiki. Uamuzi ni wako. Sasa Lutomoto kwenye holiday bonanza hii inakuletea game mpya kupitia *570# option 4 na ujishindie up to 250,000 Kenyan shillings ukiwa nyumbani. Na draw ni ya kila wiki, na kupata tiketi yako ni kupitia *570# pekee option 4, na tiketi yako ikitufikia inaingia ndani ya drum.
Nilikuwa ninachemsha chang'aa, ninauza, hiyo ndio ilikuwa ni kazi yangu. Hali hakuna kuoga, hata kufanya. Tulikuwa naanganyanga chini.
Vile waliona nimebadilika, wengine walitamani sana kujua ni nini imenibadilisha.
Currently, reformed illicit brew sellers are agents of change within their communities by advocating for legal businesses and therefore becoming the role models to other brewers in society.
For a nation
free from alcohol and drug abuse.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Scales of Justice, where the High Court sitting in Mombasa County has barred Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority from enforcing the new road maintenance levy fund, which was hiked from 18 shillings to 25 shillings per litre of fuel by IPRA on the 14th of last month. In giving the orders, Judge Gregory Mutai certified the application filed as urgent and directed the case be had on priority basis on the 20th of August. Ruth Wamboi with details in the Scales of Justice segment.
Kenyans can now breathe a sigh of relief after the court stopped the proposed increment of 39% on the road maintenance levy fund by Kenya Roads Board. The order was issued after petitioner George Ruma argued that the levy fund was implemented without meaningful public participation. Juma, a taxi driver, told the High Court in Mombasa that not everybody has access to newspapers, where the government advertised seeking public opinion. The petition terms the levy as such are not in touch with the reality, as many Kenyans are currently facing hard economic times, among other issues. In Nairobi, a habeas corpus has been filed at Milimani's Chief Magistrate Court, demanding the release of Equity Bank manager David Mashiri Kimani, whether dead or alive.
Our client is missing. So this is information that is in the custody of the police. Let the IG be summoned before you and come and tell us what actions have been taken in respect to the report that has been filed before them. In the alternative, they produce the body, dead or alive.
The development came after Kimani's lawyers informed court that police officers had abducted him, even after he was released on a cash bail on 12th July 2024. Kimani is implicated in a 1.5 billion shillings fraud at the bank.
The application for habeas corpus is a bit premature at this point. If indeed a missing person report has been filed, then the expectation is that the investigations should be allowed to take their course.
The ODPP vehemently opposed the application presented, saying the accusers not reported to the DCI headquarters twice weekly as ordered by the court, and also skipped court on Thursday. With the court expected to give directions tomorrow, Friday, the million-dollar question begs, is David Mashiri in custody or has escaped the court's jurisdiction? Separately, a prosecution witness Mwasia Musyoki has informed court of how the Assets Recovery Authority came to know of a money laundering scheme executed between 2020 and 2023 by a suspect said to own high-end vehicles with over 50 million shillings in bank accounts.
Then investigate. How did you commence it? That's my question.
That is where I'm coming. When you are now I want to commence investigation, depending on the nature of the information, like this one is money laundering.
Yes.
There was information that
That's okay,
there are some funds domiciled in a bank account.
That's okay.
So how do I know? I prepared a miscellaneous application to investigate the accounts therein.
Which means
Mwasia, who is a retired DCI officer, was however unable to provide evidence to verify the claims against Anthony Kefa Odero.
Your affidavit indicates the money was acquired from
suspected The word
Mr. Witness,
suspected.
I have not asked you about whether you suspected, whether you confirmed. I've just put a simple question. From whom was it acquired from? Did you establish in your investigations?
No.
Yes or no?
It was not established.
Thank you.
Justice Patrick Otieno has directed both parties file submissions within 7 days, and the ILS be heard on 29th September this year. Ruth Wamboi reporting for Prime Edition.
Welcome back. It's now time for business. From a modest settlement of less than 1 million people in the 1960s, Nairobi is now home to over 4 million residents. The city's infrastructure, built several decades ago, is now buckling under the weight of a growing population, leading to overwhelming sewer systems and severe water shortages. In a bid to keep pace with its rapid urbanization, the government, through the Athi Waterworks Development Agency, is upgrading this infrastructure, targeting to connect over 600,000 households to sewer systems and increase water supply, as Trevor Ngeno reports.
Once celebrated as the green city under the sun, Nairobi is now a concrete jungle. Its architectural landscape continues to evolve, as many areas that were once home to detached houses now dominated by towering apartment complexes. While the construction boom has provided homes for the growing population, it has also come at a cost. The city is struggling to keep the pace with its rapid urbanization. Many of the city's sewer lines that were originally designed to serve low-density neighborhoods are now struggling to cope with the waste generated by millions of residents. The result has been frequent overflows, with raw sewage often spilling onto the streets.
The city's rapid population growth has outpaced the existing infrastructure necessary for water and sanitation, leading to mounting challenges when it comes to water and sewerage services provision. This project is part of expansion efforts to modernize in order to meet the growing demands.
This upgrade began last year after the government secured funding from the French Development Agency to intensify the water and sewerage network in eastern Nairobi as part of the Athi Waterworks Development Agency Nairobi City Water Distribution Master Plan that also includes an integrated sanitation management plan for Nairobi and its surrounding satellite towns. A much-needed intervention for households in these areas who for years remained unconnected.
Kuwekewa hizi sewer line tunawekewa saa hizi imetutoa kwa shida kubwa sana ile tulikuwa naye. Tulikuwa na choo ya mashimo, tumechimba mashimo ndani ya ploti zetu huko. Sasa hiyo shimo ikijaa tunaita zile malori ya kutoa choo. Hizo malori zinalipisha pesa nyingi.
Initially I could walk when the septic is at the gate. It is smelly, it is stinking very much when you get in it, especially when it is at the top.
Watoto wakitoka nje kucheza, walikuwa wanacheza wanagusagusa hiyo maji. Na kuna tuvitu tunatambaa huko, hata unaona watoto saa zingine uto tuvitu tunauma watoto. Kwa hivyo shida ilikuwa sana sana kutembea hosi.
Naona bado italeta na improvement na maji pia, kwa sababu pia tumekuwa na shida ya maji hapa kule, na kulingana na venye naona connections na kuchenjua kwa pipes, naona bado imeimprove.
This process involves use of advanced techniques to minimize disruption to Nairobi's already congested roads. Key to this upgrade is the use of advanced techniques such as excavation, fusion of pipes, and the installation of underground tunnels using precast segments for reinforcement of sewer lines and water pipes without tampering with existing roads.
Steel pipe we are using the spigot joints. Spigot joints are adapted because of their flexibility. We can be able to have change of slope for up to 3 degrees. The HDPE pipe, we are doing butt fusion. It is cost effective. There are no fittings used for joining.
We have different sizes depending on the demand. For the sewer networks, we have pipe networks ranging from 10
The smallest is about DN 160 millimeter to DN 600. For the water lines, we also have different sizes depending on the water demands for different sections.
The project targets to lay 220 kilometers of water distribution network in Embakasi, spanning Mihango, Utawala, Ruai, Njiru, Ngundu and Kamulu areas, and a further connection of 1,405 new sewer household connections in Umoja, Maili Saba, among other areas.
We intend to complete it by next year, June. The project is presently 50% progress, and we are on course towards completing within the set timeline.
This, they believe, will enhance service delivery and revenue collection by addressing illegal water connections, a prevalent issue in the informal settlements that has contributed to over 40% non-revenue water, amid escalated cost of operation and maintenance for the Nairobi city water due to vandalism.
Part of what Adi Water is doing is to improve the service level in terms of the water supply networks and also to improve the sanitation situation in this area.
And as the city continues to grow, there is need for concerted efforts to ensure better urban planning. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition, Nairobi.
Thank you, Trevor Ngendo, for that report. Now, Cooperative Bank has posted 13 billion shillings in net profit during the first 6 months of this year, driven by interest income. The 7.3% profit was driven by a double-digit growth in net interest income to 23.9 billion shillings.
Cooperative Bank says net loans and advances increased by 2.8% to 375.6 billion shillings. This helped drive up total operating income by 10.9% from 35.4 billion shillings to 39.2 billion shillings. Total non-interest income grew by 11.2% to 15.4 billion shillings. In addition, net interest income grew by 10.7% from 21.5 billion shillings to 23.9 billion shillings. On the other hand, total operating expenses increased by 11.1% from 19.1 billion shillings to 21.3 billion shillings. Other key financial highlights include a 7.8% growth in total assets to 716.9 billion shillings and 9.4% increase in customer deposits to 507.4 billion shillings. Cooperative Bank Group Managing Director Gideon Morioki says the lender has moved 93% of all customer transactions to alternative delivery channels away from banking halls. He says the M-Corp Cash mobile wallet is disbursing about 6.1 billion shillings monthly, which is a key non-funded income stream. Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Agricultural experts want the government to subsidize certified seeds to encourage farmers to adapt climate-resilient crops. International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center Director General Prasanna Budapalli says the uptake of certified seeds in Kenya remains low due to high cost, hindering many farmers from benefiting from improved crop varieties.
Certified seeds are essential for enhancing crop productivity and ensuring food security in the face of climate change, but their high prices have made them inaccessible to many small-scale farmers. During a tour of the Kenya Agricultural, Livestock and Research Organization, National Maize and Wheat Improvement Center highlighted the critical need for affordable access to certified seeds.
We want to urge the government and the other private developers that in order for farmers to be able to access the seeds, certified seeds, we need to work and ensure that we can be able to support the farmers in terms of subsidy and also to help the infrastructure development to support research and other organizations engaged in seed production to ensure that they can be able to increase the quantities.
Prasanna now wants the government to subsidize the seeds to enable farmers to adopt more resilient crop varieties that can withstand the increasingly unpredictable weather due to changing climatic conditions.
Awareness is one aspect. Access is second aspect. Third most important aspect is affordability. Awareness, access, affordability. Only if we can improve these three continuously, you can improve agricultural productivity, about the new technologies.
Stakeholders argue that without financial support, the majority of farmers will continue to rely on traditional seeds which may not offer the same level of resilience or productivity. The development and production of different seed varieties is part of government collaborative efforts geared towards transforming the agro-food systems in Kenya in a bid to enhance food security. Reporting for Prime Edition from Kiboko, Makueni County, my name is Frederick Mwoki.
U.S. Ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, says the United States International Development Finance Corporation has offered 1.2 billion shillings for electric bus assembling in Kenya. Here's Alan Oko with that story for you.
Speaking during a visit at the Kenya Vehicle Manufacturers Plant in Thika, U.S. Ambassador to Kenya Meg Whitman said the capital injection will accelerate the assembly of electric buses for use as public service vehicles. This is expected to reduce emissions and create green jobs.
I'm very excited about EVs. I mean, EVs are the future of, I think, Africa and the world, and green industrialization and green jobs have got to be a big part of Kenya's growth and generation of good jobs.
We are currently proud to produce in partnership with Kenya Vehicle Manufacturers 5 vehicles per month. Our goal is to be raising that to 20 vehicles per month in the coming months, with the overall aim of delivering 1,000 electric buses here in Kenya in the next 3 years.
To power the electric vehicles private sector, players are heavily investing in charging stations along key roads, shopping malls, bank branches and residential apartments.
You can't just solve the manufacturing problem. You can't just bring the vehicle. When you think about an electric vehicle, you have to think about the charging. You have to also think about the service and maintenance.
Projections are that there will be more than 1,000 locally assembled electric buses on Kenyan roads in the next 3 years. Alan Oko, Prime Edition.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is calling for an amendment of the supply chain and procurement laws to help streamline the sector and maximize on results. Mudavadi has told professionals to adopt a sector-based approach in reviewing the laws and regulations governing the sector.
Cabinet Secretary has challenged supply chain and procurement professionals to play their role in managing resources. He says procurement and supply chain management is key for growth and transformation of the country to a middle-income industrialized nation.
Ideally, you should be helping to ease the pain of the government by ensuring that all procurement processes deliver value for money for the people. Unfortunately, you stand in an awkward position where the supply chain and procurement community is blamed for the most rampant cases of public sector fraud and corruption that have constricted the growth of our country.
Mudavadi says procurement professionals have a role in improving and safeguarding the livelihoods of Kenyans, particularly if they embrace the technological advances driving their industry, including artificial intelligence, blockchain, and cloud computing. He challenged procurement professionals to play an enhanced role in fighting rampant cases of public sector fraud and corruption that have constricted the growth of our country.
Weed out bureaucrats, suppliers, and procurement officers engaging in corrupt practices such as bribery, embezzlement, kickbacks, and tender rigging that undermine transparency and fairness in public service delivery. You have to enhance transparency in the procurement process by addressing issues such as non-disclosure of information and processes that can breed mistrust and suspicion among stakeholders.
He urged them to rise above the 10% cut label that is synonymous with procurement practice.
To some people, and perhaps a majority of the population, plastic waste is just that, waste. But to 25-year-old Lawrence Kosgei, a heap of plastic waste is a gold mine. From recycled plastic waste, Koskei makes school desks and chairs and a living. How does he do it? We visited Koskei at Twende Green Eco-Cycle in Mombasa, and our reporter Ann Mwendwa filed the following report for our weekly segment, The Young and Industrious.
The art of making school desks and chairs from plastic waste.
We are advocating for green practices, particularly in the plastic waste management.
This is at Twende Green Eco-Cycle in Mombasa County.
Plastic waste would have ended up into the ocean, affecting marine life, but now we are able to divert that plastic waste to be able to make something which is going to be useful for the community and particularly for the school.
Just as the name suggests, Twende Green Eco-Cycle is all about greening the environment. According to a report by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, Mombasa generates the highest amount of plastic waste in the country at approximately 120 tons every day. Out of these, only 5% is recycled. Twende Green Eco-Cycle, founded by Lawrence Koskei and 3 others, is one of the few enterprises turning the plastic waste into good use.
We met last year, so this was through a program which was called the Mombasa Plastics Prize, which was funded by ChallengeWorks and also partly by the government of Canada. So through this initiative, we met. All of us, we had the same passion, the same interest, and that's when we came up with this solution to make school furniture from recycled plastic.
But how is the process of recycling plastic waste?
We normally collect this plastic and then we take it to a company which shred this plastic, and then when they shred it, then we take it to a company which do the compacting of the plastic, of the shredded plastic, and then after it has been compacted, that's when now we take it and then we take it through the final phase, which is cutting and then assembling to finally making the furniture.
Koskei says that through conducting cleanup activities around the informal settlements in Mombasa, the team is able to collect waste plastics that serve as the raw material at Twende Green Eco-Cycle.
Normally, when we do beach cleanup activities, at times you could even collect around 450 kilograms of plastic waste, and we normally do several beach cleanups within a month.
Since Twende Green Eco-Cycle is yet to invest in a production line, it outsources the service through a collaboration arrangement with others in the plastic recycling business.
At the moment, we are partnering also with other organizations who have shredding machines and also the press molding machines. So these machines, they're very capital intensive and we can't be able to actually have it all together.
25-year-old Koskei says Twende Green Eco-Cycle is not just about the making of desks and chairs, but focuses mainly on environmental conservation.
We have been able to reach out to several informal settlements, so we educate them about the dangers of plastic pollution. We educate them on appropriate methods of managing their waste.
Besides, the team has enhanced sustainable awareness campaign on clean environment through promotion of eco-friendly, affordable and durable furniture to schools.
We have seen even the county government recognizing the efforts that we're trying to do, because right now they have opted to shift from distributing school furniture which is made from wood to furniture which is made from recycled plastic.
According to Koskei, Twende Green has created 12 direct jobs and earns the 4 co-founders a living.
Our main job actually is to ensure that we recycle this plastic, we make school furniture, and then we sell it.
Over and above schools, the surrounding community has also benefited from other products made of recycled plastic.
We had customers who were interested in having hotel tables, which is made from recycled plastic because it's eco-friendly, and we were able to distribute that furniture to a customer here in Nyali.
What are some of the challenges those in the plastic recycling venture experience?
trying to navigate through to be able to get the government permits and all those things, it has been a challenge, considering also we are the pioneers in this sector. So the community have not yet embraced this furniture which is made from recycled plastic. So we are trying to spend most of our time and invest a lot in trying to do community sensitization.
Kosgei and his 3 youthful business partners have inspired other young people in Mombasa and beyond. I guess, just like me, you had never imagined that plastic waste could be repurposed into furniture to combat pollution. No wonder the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. And if you are to address our community's challenges, then finding creative solutions and paying attention to even the small details we often ignore will be inevitable. For Young and Industrious, I'm Anne Mwendwa.
Well, it's now time for our second break, but when we come back, I will be telling you more about the Tourism Festival.
Siamini. Amini usiamini, Holiday Bonanza ni ya kila mtu na zawadi zitakufikia mahali popote. Dial *570#, chagua option 4 na zawadi kibao zinakungoja. Ikiwa kila wiki kuna 250,000 Kenyan shillings za kushindaniwa. Ni *570# pekee, option 4, tushinde!
This Friday, our top 16 models will be competing for the ultimate crown and the coveted title of Miss Universe Kenya 2024, alongside a grand prize of 1 million Kenya shillings, a fully furnished apartment, modern office space, and the golden chance to represent Kenya in Mexico for the global Miss Universe pageant.
Miss Universe.
Who will it be? Get ready for the grand finale on 16 August, going down at the Argyle Grand Hotel in Nairobi, uniquely graced by the reigning Miss Universe Global, Shanice Palacio.
Welcome back. Now, Mombasa Waterfront in Mombasa is poised to get a new lease of life with the scheduling of various social events aimed at making the recreational facility more attractive to visitors. Mombasa International Festival Director Mzee Mwinyi said that the tourism landscape is changing and becoming more dynamic, with festival and carnival tourism taking prominence among tourists.
Utalii katika eneo letu hili la Mombasa. Kwa hivyo tunaalika watu wote wa tabaka zote waweze kuja, waweze kupata fursa. Katika tamasha hili tutakuwa na mahema ambayo tumeyaweka rasmi kwa ajili ya kuwapatia wakazi wa eneo hili, pia wale wanaofanya biashara ndogo ndogo kuweza kuja kutuonesha ni vitu gani au ni yepi wanayo katika lengo la kukuza utalii.
Tutakuwa na activities tofauti, exhibitions kutoka state corporates, exhibitions kutoka private entities, biashara za kibinafsi za watu ambao wako katika eneo hili letu la pwani. Kutakuwa na fun events, music events na empowerments generally ya vijana na talanta zao mbalimbali katika maeneo haya.
Environmental Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has put on notice individuals claiming ownership of City Park Nairobi, saying the area belongs to the Kenya Forest Service. Duale spoke when he presided over 3,000 bamboo seedling planting exercise at the park in commemoration of India's 78th Independence Day. The Cabinet Secretary further announced plans to fence the park to protect it.
During the bamboo seedling planting exercise at City Park, Nairobi, to celebrate India's 78th Independence Day, Environment Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale made it clear that the Kenya Forest Service is the sole owner of the park.
And if there are people who have titles or who have some ownership, let me just tell them, not under my watch as the Minister for Environment and Climate Change. Before we go out of Nairobi, we must preserve all the green spaces and forest, including Karura, City Park, and all the others. And I want to assure you that we will decongest Karura.
Duale further stressing the importance of this exercise in achieving Kenya's ambitious target of planting 15 billion trees, noting that about 400 million trees were planted in the previous financial year alone.
It helps prevent soil erosion, it enhances biodiversity, and it provides a sustainable raw material for a variety of our industries. We are contributing to environmental conservation, and we are laying the foundation for a sustainable economic development.
Whatever we have done, we should be able to protect and bring the trees into fruition so that we are able to see them as we move in the future.
The Indian High Commission pledged to continue fostering collaborative approaches in furthering the two countries' shared values on the greening agenda.
These risks and these disasters are common to all of us and require concerted collaborative action. Even if we are separated by geographies and continents, we are not insulated from this challenge, and we cannot therefore treat it in isolation, in bubbles.
We are making a promise to the future generations, a promise that the air they breathe will be water they drink will be purer, and the land they walk on will be greener.
This exercise is a part of a series of activities organized to mark India's 78th Independence Day while celebrating the years of India-Kenya ties. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition.
Nestled in the heart of Kenya lies a hidden gem, the Ruma National Park, which is home to a diverse range of wildlife and breathtaking landscapes. Tonight, on Magical Scenes, we unveil the little-known Ruma National Park in Homa Bay County.
Welcome to Ruma National Park in Homa Bay County, a destination linked to unique for nature lovers. One of the main attractions in Ruma National Park is its thriving population of elephants, which can be seen up close and personal on guided safari tours. Visitors can also spot giraffes gracefully moving through the grasslands, as well as zebras grazing peacefully in the open plains that borders Lake Victoria. For those seeking a more tranquil experience, Ruma National Park is also home to the picturesque Lake Victoria, where visitors can relax and take in the views of the surrounding landscape. Bird enthusiasts are delighted by the park's rich avian population, with over 400 species of birds calling Ruma National Park home. From the vibrant pink flamingos to the regal African fish eagles, there is life to admire in this natural paradise. Accommodation options in and around Ruma National Park range from luxurious safari lodges to cozy, ensuring that visitors can enjoy a comfortable and unforgettable stay in the heart of the wilderness. With experienced guides and knowledgeable rangers on hand, tourists enjoy a magical safari experience that is safe and informative.
These are rare antelope within Ruma National Park called the Roan, and it is in the verge of this extinction.
see it for yourself. This is the best place we have in the Western Circuit, and there are a lot of here, and most of the people who come here, if they compare to Mombasa, they will normally want to come back.
So why wait? Embark on a journey of discovery and immerse yourself in the beauty. Whether you are a seasoned safari enthusiast or a first-time visitor, this park promises an unforgettable adventure that will leave you in awe of Kenya's natural wonders. Irene Mchuma Odim, Magical Sense in the county of Homa Bay.
Now that's truly magic. Quality impact crop yield, thus affecting agricultural productivity. The prevalence of substandard seeds, especially during the planting season, has led to increased surveillance efforts to nab the unscrupulous dealers. Betty Kiptum, Plant Health Inspectorate Service, that is KEFIS, the body that is charged with providing quality assurance on seeds.
A very good evening to you. Thank you for watching KBC Channel 1. It is time to have an interactive. Is Betty Kiptum. Tonight we'd like to talk about matters seed quality. Seeds are very important in crop yield and productivity, considering that agriculture is the mainstay in Kenya's economy. And to just have this conversation is Joseph Erwaki, who is the chair at Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services. Thank you very much for joining us.
As you have seen, I'm chair of Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service. This is a state corporation whose main mandate is to deal with the matters of plant health, seed certification, and the facilitation of trade. So KEFIS works through main areas. We promote food security by ensuring that we have seeds that are of quality, that have been certified by us, and then they are released to the farmers. We have people also who keep the plant and breeders' rights. So we have a mandate, because generally KEFIS has a broad mandate to ensure that we regulate to plant protection, seed, and also plant varieties. In fact, KEFIS is the main organ, the main body that induces the question of the phytosanitary. So any material that is being sent out of this country, KEFIS provides the phytosanitary, sure that whatever is going out is free from pests and diseases. Right. So we are also people who have the mandate to administer and enforce sanitary and the phytosanitary measures. That is again related. Again, when materials are being imported, this has to do what we call the PRI. We reach out and ensure that from the country which is trying to bring materials to Kenya, there are no pests, there are no diseases that may be brought here in Kenya, especially which are not already in the country. Okay. So before we issue any bond company bring materials, we have to ensure, before we give the plant import permit, then we have to ensure that the person is not bringing pests and diseases. That is why KEFIS has offices across the country, especially every point of entry in Kenya. We have an office, also international airports. We have personnel there, okay, inspectors who are trained to ensure any material coming in is inspected, and whatever is going out again is inspected, because we have also responsibility as Kenya being a signatory with some of the international obligations within WTO to ensure that also we don't trade with the materials that are not appropriate. Okay. Then here, KEFIS again, we support the administration and enforcement of the food safety measures. This is also a bit more effort. we have, more energy, like we have already presented issues with our ministry to also work with the Ministry of Health so that we are certain as for the food, because KEFIS has good laboratory facilities that are able to test the food to ensure the nature of the food, to ensure that the people are not getting food that is poisoned or that has high residue levels.
Right.
Again,
now that we have when we talk about matters seed quality, of course, farmers are very dependent on KEFIS to ensure that they are getting certified seeds.
Yes.
So how can farmers differentiate between fake seeds and certified seeds?
You know, what KEFIS does, KEFIS, when somebody is given that mandate, we first of all, we are the people who register the plant breeders. The way we have the property right, then we are the people who register, who are the owners who develop this variety. And then there are protocols that are involved in terms of ensuring that. And we are also the people who register the seed dealers, the seed merchants, the agents, the Angrove or the shops that sell the seeds. We are the people again who license after inspecting the premise and then offering that certificate. Then when you get the seed, the package, within that seed package, it has of seed was packed. It's also it indicates when the seeds will also expire. Unless the expiring date, there is also clear label, and within that label there is also the sticker. And within that KEFIS sticker, it is able to show that this one has been, and to guarantee, then we have also a number. Number you the indicate satisfied or not. If it is not satisfied, then you will not from the and get something like. So once the farmer, then he has to store, whether it is a contingent bag or whatever, to keep it until the end of the season. We can be then the KEFIS team of the KEFIS will go from the other company and in the label in the to know these things. There are also there to the law in the court regulating even the indigenous seed of KEFIS as a regulator. Assure the Kenyan farm. A farmer, they can exceed that level, but it will discourage. You cannot encourage that level in the name of maybe indigenous and go and trade in it. Maybe you package and sell, because guaranteeing of what is there, and you know the important. Especially in the bottom-up economic of the Kenya Kwanza government is key of seen that the seed is critical with other ingredients, the soil and whatever. Who somebody may plant very good seed not fertile, if there is no rainfall and then you are relying on the rainfall, then you realize that you may not have this is why we are also and involved in encouraging the also put more resources in counties where we have extension officers because our business we regulate the industry, so we are not like extension service provider participates in the agriculture source, in other when other stakeholders also are owning events that are of interest to the farmers. We engage the farmers about the quality things, about and the matters related to that.
The problem we have is diversification by our farmers.
Yes.
You're used to planting maize, so you're planting maize forever, as opposed to resilient crop.
Again, the science, human being is ahead of other animals. So if the area the maize is not doing, first of all, there is research to come up with the new breeds that can grow in those areas, and especially.
What is certified?
Up to 2, even both into the
and for people who just them.
Yes.
What is the load?
And a meeting can go up and be quite. So you may have, if you have that are not tested, that are not suited, that crop, not even germinate, they may not tassel, they may not. So it is devastating. That take 3 months, then it fails, you have lost it. The losses are quite heavy. That's very serious now. In reaching out and educating the farmers, I like we are doing with you now, and then reaching out there to the people, so that eventually we can be able to tell our. It's better you incur a bit of cost, buy quality things, so that you can have quality production. And we have put also inspectors on notice to be sure to regularly also visit even the seed vendors before and after to see what is happening, to see the kind of things that people are selling to the farmers. You know, inspectors, you don't announce when you are going, so we go to the shop, get materials, test, and the farmer is getting the value for. As people who have this mandate of quality, then we must really be sure, not only be seen, but we must do it. And we are putting a lot of energy and effort to follow the whole process of seed production and also up to what is going to the farm.
When you talked about the penalties for people who are selling these fake seeds.
Yes.
Assuming I've been doing this business the whole season, maybe I've probably give me 2 million as a penalty for me. So my question is, policy and regulatory, what more can be done stringent from dealing?
No, one thing, if you are dealing, we can even cancel. In that way, you are not able to market, to deal with the trend as far as the seed business is concerned. So then the other thing is we want also we have also the country. And I think that is where we are. You know, how much we regulate. speak another species to everything, but surely you cannot legislate trust. Do is to indicate our people. When you go and sell to the other people fake sins, then that means you are caught. If you are a farmer, or you buy other plant, plowing the land, of winding, even themselves, maybe the fertilizer, and then is that what you grow is not what's not even sweetened for that area. It is not the correct, so you lose. So there is enormous loss. So consciously we have to people so that people are ethical. But then again, at that law is there. Maybe we may also in our act, and we also asked the judiciary all this cost and the risk penalties given to the individuals, so that there is a deterrent, because there are criminals who do not care, who have no values, and you know some people also in this country, you steal left, right, you do bad things. By the end of the day, even what you get, not even you assume to enjoy, it becomes a curse.
Right, so it's a matter of values.
Yes.
So as we move forward, tell farmers who are listening to you.
What I'm telling you, let us listen to the expertise. I'm going to strengthen even our communication system within KEFIS to reach out more to the farmers, to partner more with the East KBC, so that we reach out the more farmers are educated. Let the farmers ask questions. We are going to create a web or a system for reaching out to the farmers, so that farmers can ask and the questions regarding the seed. And then again, I'm requesting or asking our other stakeholders, especially the county government. I know there is plan from the government to maybe engage a facilitator in every ward, but that is not enough. The money for the have to, if you want to have nation, then you more serious. You know, like a international conference, 21st of this month, from Monday next week, we have international. We have over from Kenya and also from outside Kenya, and the whole idea is for this theme is seed quality assurance and technology and advancement for climate adaptation to and sustainable food, and the idea about this, I want to provide the space the practitioners, industry, also in agriculture, space for sharing knowledge as quality is concerned. We also want to provide the space where the practitioners can showcase the innovations and the technologies in the seed sector. Foster to create a space for discussions for where the practitioners, the experts can challenges around the seed and work face the challenge again of climate change, resilience, so that by the end of the day we are able to feed the world, to feed the people.
Right.
Yes.
That is a very important conference coming up, and we hope to be there to cover it.
No, you are invited.
Asante
you will be
sana.
properly invited, so that you are there at the Karen, the KEFIS and the quarters. You know, KEFIS and the facility for conference facilities, and so we invite those guests come. We also have every biannual phytosanitary conference. We had one last year So another one will be there next year. This, the Quality Scene Conference, it is the first of its kind.
Okay. So
this time we want to start also to bring the players. You know, Kenya is a serious player, and the KPU, the National Plant Protection Organization, recognized by the peers within the region, we provide the training even for other. So this is a space we are providing for African continent, and also people from other continents to come and then share their expertise, share their experience, and also explore collaborations and partnerships in the area of the seed quality and the seed provision.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll give you 30 seconds to give me your closing remarks.
Thank you very much. I would like and everybody, the president, and for the. No, it is the same in this country again. We import even what we can produce here, rather than spend the dollars buying what we can produce. Let the Kenyan farmers, let the Kenyans, we invest more in agriculture. We invest more also in research and development, because without research, you cannot go far. Without research, you will continue doing the same things the same way, you get the same results. Let us invest also in education, in educating the farmers, in bringing information to the farmers, so that the Kenyan and in agriculture as a business, where somebody keeps record and you know what you are putting in. With nothing to work, then you go out to what works.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your words. He says that research and development and investing in the farmer to ensure that they move from subsistence to agribusiness is the solution. I have been speaking with Joseph Erwaki, who is the chair at the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, that is KFIS. We have talked about matters seed quality in the country, how to ensure that unscrupulous dealers are not taking advantage of farmers by stocking and selling fake seeds, and how farmers can actually recognize certified seeds. My name is Betty Kiptum. Good night.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. TPM.
A very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome. Welcome to Prime Edition Sport, where President William Ruto says the government will work with all stakeholders to develop challenges hindering Kenya's progress in sports. The head of state said the national and county governments will work closely with sports federations, among other players, to develop a sports policy framework that will address the gaps in all disciplines. The head of state made the remarks at the Eldoret State Lodge from the just concluded Paris Olympic Games.
Kenyan athletes to the just concluded 2024 Olympic Games in Paris were officially received by the state in a ceremony held at the Eldoret State Lodge. Led by Kipyegon, the athletes left Nairobi at 7:15 this morning aboard a Kenya Defensive Forces aircraft. Upon landing at the Eldoret International Airport, on a ceremonial drive to State Lodge, where they were hosted for a state breakfast by President William Ruto. The president announced that gold medal
million shillings for their exploits in Paris, while silver medalists received 2 million shillings. Bronze medalists were awarded 1 million shillings.
Even in the face of challenges, our athletes never lose sight of the finish line and will fight for glory to the tape. We saw them, and sometimes we never understand the sacrifices that are made.
The head of every participant at the Olympic Games will pocket 200,000 Kenyan shillings.
These people are great Kenyans. It is not always that on a global stage a country is celebrated. It reminds us as a country what we can achieve together.
The president challenged Kenyans to appreciate the honor brought to the nation by the athletes, despite the high standards Kenya has set in the global stage.
Please invest and invest well, so that the name that you carry is dignified throughout your life. It will be very sad that after you are gold medalists, you have been to the Olympics, later on in life you are struggling, and people are asking what happened. That is a man, the woman we knew who was a champion in the whole world, who is struggling like the rest of us here. So please invest and invest well.
He also challenged the private sector to step up efforts in commercializing the Kenyan brand. Ruto added that the sports funds will only be committed to sports affairs in efforts to improve sports in the country.
Now, Pararoa Asia Sururu is eyeing to medal at this year's Paralympic Games scheduled for the 28th of August to the 8th of September in Paris, France. Asia will be participating in her second Paralympic Games, declared herself ready for the Games, where Kenya will participate in 5 disciplines.
In the calm waters of River Oise in Compiègne, tucked 80 kilometers north of Paris, Asia Sururu is busy preparing for the forthcoming Paralympic Games under the guidance of her coach and trainer. Asia and the rest of Team Kenya arrived here 5 days ago so as to get familiar with the conditions and the facilities that they are likely to encounter during the Games.
Tumekuja mapema, it's good because tunaclimatize na environment, tunaclimatize na equipments tunatumia. So for example, watu kama sisi wa boat lazima tuzoe.
Motivated by the preparations, she hopes that this will propel her to a medal position after reaching the semi-finals in Tokyo at the first time of asking.
Sahi, I'm not a learner. Sahi Paris naenda kama machani meelewa exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Sasa approach yangu is full of techniques. It will be different from Tokyo.
On her second appearance at the Paralympic Games, she believes that this gives an edge mentally to perform even better. Kenya will field a total of 8 athletes in this year's Paralympic Games, hoping to perform better than they did in Tokyo 4 years ago, where they won only 1 medal.
Asia Sururu has been holding her training here in Compiègne, France for the last 5 days, with her sights set on leaving a mark at the Paralympic Games, which begin on 28th of this month through to the 8th of September in Paris. She is motivated by her desire to go one better after reaching the semi-finals during her debut at the Olympic Games 4 years ago. Reporting for Channel 1 Sports from Paris, France, I'm Bernard Okumu.
And veteran Griffin Ligare was named the LGS Sports Personality of the Month of July. And meanwhile, Mombasa County Chief Officer for Sports, Youth and Culture, Hamisi Kurichwa, has assured sports stakeholders of their commitment to reinvigorate sports through renovation and construction of stadia.
Ligare inspired Nairobi City Thunder to their first ever Kenya Basketball Federation Men's Premier League title in the 2023-2024 season, which concluded on July 20th. He hosted 3 times Olympic champion Faith Kipyegon, who shattered her own 1500 meters world record during the Paris Diamond League early July, and 3-time Zambia International Rally winner Karan Patel.
Every time we'll get too close, but then it appears or it turns out that we're too far. But then again, I came to realize a lot has to go in place for a team to be great, and I get to appreciate all that we've done this season.
Meanwhile, Mombasa County Chief Officer for Sports, Youth and Culture, Hamis Kurichwa, has assured the sports stakeholders of their commitment to renovate sports through renovation and construction of stadia.
Hata kama vijana wetu watakuwa na talanta, hata sisi kama serikali tukifanya bidii kukuza talanta, lakini ikiwa talanta hiyo haitaangazwa na vyombo vya habari, itakuwa ni vigumu sana katika hawa vijana wetu kuonekana.
In other news, the Kenya Police Bullets FC CEO Chris Onguso has assured all that the missing national under-20 women football team captain Jane Hatto is safe wherever she is, according to their preliminary investigations. He said they have been tracking her phone since her disappearance last night, when she was supposed to travel with her teammates to Ethiopia for the CAF Women's Champions League zonal qualifier. Her phone was last tracked to Juja before it was turned off, but the police are working hard to determine her location so that she can be reunited with her teammates. Finally, StarTimes have officially launched the 2024-2025 La Liga Premier League season. Speaking during the event, StarTimes Marketing Director Tamima Ibrahim noted that the company is aiming to showcase different sports across different leagues this season.
StarTimes being an official broadcasting partner for the 2024 La Liga season. So as you know, the season is just about to kick off this weekend with fantastic matches for some of your favorite teams. So on StarTimes, all La Liga matches will be available.
And moving on is that the 2020 NCBA Kenya Junior Match Play Championship came to a resounding end on the 32nd hole when 15-year-old Sevi Soni of Sigona Golf Club parred the hole to win 5 up with 4 holes to go. Sevi was 3 up after 18 holes and lost the next 2 holes to remain 1 up to the 21st. A birdie on the par 5 number 4 pushed him to 2 up, but he conceded the next hole to remain 1 up. He won 5 of the remaining holes, halved 3 and lost 1 to finish the match on number 14 of the second round. In the consolation match, Bianca Ngeshu and Junaid Manji tied after 18 holes, forcing them to proceed to the 19th. Bianca landed her third shot on the green and parred the hole to win. The juniors now brace their clubs for the 3-day NCBA Faldo Series Kenya Championship to be held at the current country club from Monday the 19th to Wednesday the 21st of August 2024.
Today was quite a tough day because Chris really played some amazing golf. I just had to keep my head level and make sure that it didn't affect my game.
We are focusing a lot more today or going forward on the development phase using their support. And this is mainly talking about heightened trainings for all the top juniors, spreading the game to the mashinani. You know, we have in the regions, there's a lot of activities in the regions.
And that's the sport for tonight. Remember, more to come tomorrow as we build up to the Paralympic Games. Remember, Paralympics, Iko KBC. Have a good evening. My name is Daniel Wahome. Back to you, Cynthia Nyamai.
And that it's a bulletin from me and to wish you a very good night.
Kenyans bubbling with joy and cheer. Tukicheer tuko unstoppable. Na tukipatana, our cheer spreads from within, across the world for all to see. We are the champions of cheers. Join in as we cheer on Team Kenya and stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Tusker, proud sponsor of Team Kenya. Terms and